This conference will now be recorded.
So what is the last topic? Where did we end? What is the last topic?
Length statement.
The length statement, sir.
Tenth we covered. We have to start with label statement. Maybe we'll wait for 1 minute. We'll see. Majority are not in. Hi guys. So we'll start. So label statement. Label statement. What it will do? If you wanted to assign labels to your variables, then we have to use label statement. So label is always a alias name. Label is always a alias name. So by looking at label, we can understand what information this variable is containing. Okay, right. So now if you wanted to apply label, we can give a syntax this way: label statement, variable 1 equal to label 1, variable 2 equal to label 2. So this way we can give, labels to your variables. Right. So now one more point is, you can write your label statement after input statement. You can write labels after input statement, or you can write label statement before input statement. Okay. So now I have a data set DS1. So if you run the program, you see name equal to emp name. So variable name will be displayed as emp name. Name means what name? It is a variable, it is a patient name or a subject name or employee name. How we will understand? So that description we have given in label statement. And also one more point to be noted: in a normal variable name, I cannot give spaces, but in label I can give spaces. And sex is equal to gender. Sal equal to income. BRTH equal to date of birth. So if you run the program, you see log window, it has 3 observations and 6 variables. Right. So now you can see DS1 data set, it has 3 observations and 6 variables. Okay, you see, right? So here, right now it's displaying column names. If you want to display column labels, go to view menu, click on column labels. So name is EMP space name. Sex is gender. Sal is income. BRTHDTC is date of birth. You see it clear, right? You see it clear, right? So this is how we can assign a label to your variables. You see a double click, BRTHDTC is date of birth. Okay. So the variable sex is, label is gender. So is this clear? If you wanted to give labels, this is how we can give labels in SAS. Sal is income and the name is EMP name. So likewise, if you wanted to give labels to your variables, we can do it. Okay, using label statement. Next, we can use label statement before input statement or after input statement. No problem. Wherever you want, you can give. So if you are giving label statement after input statement, it will follow your input statement order. If you are giving your label statement before input statement, order of variables in final data set will be with respect to your label statement order. So now if you just run the program, you see, right? So order of variables will be with respect to label statement. So it will first display employee name, sex, income, date of birth. After that, finally, it will display ID, age. Everything is same. Order of variables will only change. Okay. So if you run the program now, you see this is what is the change. You see it, right? EMP name, gender, income, date of birth, ID, age. So order of variables will change with respect to this. Clear to everyone, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next. If we write label statement after input statement, output dataset will be in input order. But if we write before input, output dataset order should be in label order. Then whatever variable is not there, it will come in the last order. So you see, right, this is what I have explained now. And if we specify label is missing, raw data variable name should come into output dataset. If we specify label is missing. So in this case, if you specify label is missing, so by default SAS will display variable name. Okay, right. So now I have a dataset DS3. I have a dataset DS3. You can see here, this is how it is. Okay, so here I have variable label. Name is equal to missing. And sex is equal to gender. Sal is equal to missing. Okay. Right. So this is the data we have. Right. Next. Next. You can see here. Okay. So name is missing, right? So name is missing means in this case it will have missing value. So it will show missing column. No, right? So it will show name is equal to missing. So means in this case it will show your variable name. Okay, so it will not show it as a null, it will show variable name. Whenever label is missing, Sas by default it will display column labels. You see, right? DS3 data set, you can see. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? So in this case it is showing variable name. Okay, and you have given missing for cell, so it will not show missing, it will show cell. So if you have column name, it will display column name. If you have column label, it will display column label. Right. So this is how it works. Right. Read the below note once. Read the below note once. Everyone read the below note once. So this is how it is. You can see here, if you wanted to apply label, we are writing a separate data statement. If you wanted to apply in format, you are writing a separate data statement, format separate, length separate. So if you wanted to apply column attributes, suppose to say for one variable, if you wanted to apply multiple column attributes, in that case, everyone please mute yourself. In that case, we can use this, attribute statement. If you wanted to apply multiple attributes to multiple variables in one go, then we have to use a concept called attribute statement. So now you can see here, attribute statement, it associates a format, informat, label, length with one or more variables. If you wanted to apply, all these things with one or more variables, we can do it. The syntax is attribute statement, variable list, and attributes list. So the syntax is attribute statement, variable name, after that length. Generally using attribute statement, we can change length, format, informat, label. So these are all the things we can do with attribute statement. Suppose to say I have a dataset DS1. For dataset DS1, I wanted to apply length to my variable name. So normally, if it is only one, we have already written. So in place of attribute, so we have written length name $10 dot. Correct. We have written this way. Yesterday we have learned length statement, right? We have written this way. Agree, yes or no? Right. So instead of writing this way, we can also use attribute statement. Okay, we can also use attribute statement. You see, right? So this is the attribute statement. So data DS1 attribute name length equal to $10 dot. Input ID, name, sex, age, sal. Okay, so if you run the program here, you can see log window. The dataset work.ds1 has 3 observations and 5 variables. Okay, so now if you see DS1 dataset for variable name, you'll have length 10 characters. Is it right? 10 characters are there, right? So now you can see this is how it is. Okay, right. So if you wanted to assign label to a variable name, okay, then we have to use label. label, label equal to emp name. So for same variable, if you wanted to apply one more attribute, you can do it. So label equal to emp name. So if you see DS1 dataset, you have label emp name and length of the variable will be 10 characters. You see, right? So for one variable, if you wanted to apply multiple attributes, we were able to do it. Not only for one variable, for multiple variables, if you wanted to apply multiple attributes, you can do it. Next, you can see here. For example, for variable sal, I wanted to apply format. Okay, you can apply format, you can do all these things. Suppose to say this is my dataset DS3. Attrib name length equal to $10 dot. Label is equal to emp name. And in addition to this, I wanted to apply attributes to my variable sal also. Sal format equal to comma 6 dot. Sal format equal to comma 6 dot. Label equal to income. You can see, right? Label equal to income. So now you can see here, if you run the program data ds3 attrib name. So sal, I'm adding extra variable sal. See, I'm not ending semicolon after emp name. So this is all one single statement. You see, right? After label equal to income, I am giving semicolon. From attrib to this is all one single statement. Mark this. So now if you run the program here for variable sal, it will display in comma format. Means it will apply 50 comma 1000. It will apply that format. And label is equal to income. For variable sal, it will display label income. So because we are using this attrib statement before input statement, order of variables will follow input statement order. Correct. So because we are using attrib statement before input statement, order of variables will follow input statement order. So the reason you can see name. I have a dataset DS4. I have a dataset DS4. If you see here in DS4, I wanted to give name, date of joining, sex, sal. Okay, right. If you run the program DS4 dataset, you see name, length 10 characters. DOJ, we are applying format. You see, right? I already have applied in format in input statement. So right now I'm using only format statement here. Word date 30 dot. If I use this format, how your SAS will display date? If I use word date 30 dot, how? What is the style it will display? Come on, guys. We covered it. You guys didn't practice it.
Full
Huh?
month, sir, January.
Allow Siddha. Complete గా చెప్పండి.
January 2nd, 2009, sir.
Yes. So it will display this way. Okay. And you can see sex label equal to gender, sal format $7. You see it, right? This is fine. Right. So now this is your DS4 data set. So now in my input statement, I'm writing in format here. Why to write in format here? So here only I wanted to apply. So if you wanted to do that, you can see here. See, for variable name, I'm writing 10 characters length. For DOB, in format date 9 dot. format ddmmyy8 dot label date of birth. For one variable, you see right, for one variable, you are applying multiple attributes. Likewise, we are doing it for multiple variables. Likewise, we are doing it for multiple variables. Correct. So now you can see here, this is your attribute statement. We are doing it for multiple variables. So for variable sex, you see label equal to gender. For variable sal, you see format equal to $7 dot. Okay. Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? So we can apply multiple attributes to multiple variables in one go. So if I run the program DS5 dataset, you can see DS5 dataset, you can see, right? So you are able to read your date values properly. You are able to apply label. Correct. So name, you have length, date of birth, you have applied in format, label, same for date of joining. For sex, you have given gender. For sal, you have given format. Correct. So all these things we have done, yes or no? All these things we have done, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is how it works. And DS5, this is your DS5. DS6. So DS6, if you see here, this is all how it works. DS6, you see, right? This is all how it works. Okay, right. So now, if you see here, this is your dataset DS6. Attrib name, label equal to EMP name, DOB, informat date 9 dot, format DDMMY8 dot, label date of birth, DOJ, sex, sal. So for all these, we are applying all the attributes. Right now, I'm using attribute statement after input statement. Can I use it, yes or no? Can I use it, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
When to use attribute statement before input statement, after input statement? When to use length statement before input statement, after input statement? So if you all remember, whenever we are applying length statement, length should always be before input statement. Agree, yes or no? This is the note we have learned, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the same concept in your attribute statement, if you are using length, compulsory you have to write attribute statement before input statement only. If you are using length in your attribute statement, compulsory you have to write your attribute statement before input statement only. Suppose to say if you are not using length anywhere, in that case, no need to, you can either write before or after, whatever the choice it is, you can write before or after. But if you are using length, compulsory we have to write before input statement only. So now I have a data set DS6. Okay, sal equal to 50,000, date of birth, date of joining. Okay, right. So DS6 is clear to everyone, right? DS6 is clear to everyone, right? We have applied multiple attributes for one variable, correct? At the same time, we are writing after input statement. So whenever you are writing attribute statement after input statement, what happens? Whenever we are writing attribute statement after input statement, what happens? So order of variables will be with respect to input statement order. If you see DS6, I think you have noticed the order of variables is with respect to input statement. If you write attribute statement, order of variables will be with respect to attribute order. What are the order you are written in attribute statement? those order you will see it, or your variables will present in those orders. Correct. Right. So this is how it works. And DS7, you can see this is a normal data set. So if you are writing set statement before attrib statement, you see, right? So whenever you are using set statement, you have to write your attrib statement before set statement, provided if you are using length in it. So I'm using length in it, so compulsory I have to write before set statement only. So you can see here it is applying on the attribute. Applying on the attribute. Clear it, everyone? Yes or no? Everybody is clear, yes or no? Everybody is clear, yes or no? Right. So if something is not clear, you can raise. So I want everyone to read these notes. I want everyone to read these notes. So you're done reading with this note? You're done reading with this note?
Yes, sir.
With this, we are done with concept column attributes. Moving on to next concept, sum statement. So generally, we can perform sum in two ways. We can perform sum in two ways. One is sum statement, other one is sum function. For example, if you are doing A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5 in Excel, it is a sum statement. Whenever we are using plus 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 plus, it is a sum statement. And if you are writing sum of A1 to A4, so it is a sum function. Okay, right. Suppose to say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can do sum in two ways. A1 plus, A2 plus, A3 plus, A4 plus, A5. You can do it in this way. This is sum statement. Whenever you are using plus 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 plus, and if you are getting a total, it is a sum statement. And sum function is equal to sum of A1 to A5. So both are giving totals, correct? Both the methods are giving you the totals. Equal to, you can see sum statement, and this is sum function. You know out of it shortcuts, right? You see, right? Out of it. Okay. So now missing values in SAS, how it will display? How SAS will present missing values for numeric variables?
Dot.
Dot. So now if I use this dot, what is the value in sum statement? Hash value, null value, nothing but empty. Hash value, nothing but null value. Null value means empty. But whereas sum function, Sum function, what is the value?
10.
10, sir.
It is 10. Okay, sum function, the value is 10. Okay, right. So now you can see here, this is how it works. Right, next. Same way your SAS will also work. Suppose to say for one variable, if you wanted to enter only one value, no need to write in-file statement, no need to write input statement, no need to write data length statement. Okay, for one variable, if you wanted to enter only one value, no need to write all these things. Okay, so what you can do is you can straight away write data ds is equal to 1, b is equal to 2, c is equal to 3, d is equal to 4. E is equal to missing. So if you run the program, it will not throw any error. You see, right? Data ds, is it throwing any error? No, right? One observation, 5 variables. Okay, so E value is missing. Suppose to say if you wanted to perform total data ds1 set ds total is equal to, or total 1 is equal to a plus b plus c plus d plus e. Run. So total 1 variable, we expect total to come in, correct? Or else right now I will write, that's okay, I will run this program. So if you have missing value in your input variables, and if you are using some statement, what happens? Your total value will be null. Your total value will be null. You see that total 1 value is null, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you want to get the total, what you are supposed to do? Total 2 equal to sum of control H, wherever it is plus, I have to replace with comma. Replace in selection, it works. So if you run the program now, sum of A, comma B, comma C, comma D, comma E. DS1 data set, you see, right? You have total 10, correct? You have total 10, correct? Everyone understood, yes or no? Are we getting total by using some statement or some
Yes.
function?
Function.
Some function we have to use. Right. So this method we call sum statement. This we call sum function. So we are clear on this. So in a real-time scenario, it's better to use functions only in place of statements. Clear, right? You guys are clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any questions so far? I take it as no. Can I move on to next point? Can I move on to next point? Say yes or no, yeah, something.
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
please.
why did we put that 1 and 2 beside the total, sir? Like, is it default, like
A variable
total
name
1?
here. Variable name here. I have to create two separate variables for total, right? Total one, total two.
Okay, okay, sir.
It's just a variable name. That's it. Okay. Right. Next. Any other questions? Anyone? Next one. Retain statement. I think retain statement needs some time. I cannot finish in this gap. Many other things I can cover. Retaining base variable is important. So stop statement I can tell. So retaining base variables in clinical trial, how to use retain statement we will see in next class. So in this time it will permit stop statement. I can continue stop statement. So stop statement what it will do. If you wanted to stop the execution of current data step, okay, so we use a stop statement. Actually speaking, nowhere we will use this statement. This is just part of your syllabus. I'm covering it. Right. So now you can see here, I have a data set DS1. If you write stop statement, what it will do, it will stop processing your data step. So if you just run it, so if you use a stop statement, what happens? It will create all the variables, but it will not allow data to read in. You see, like 3 variables are there, but still observations it is 0. Data set has 0 observations. Okay, right. So either you write stop statement before or after, both are one and the same. You see it clear, right? This is your stop statement, right? So this retain and all if statement will cover tomorrow. Statement and all we will cover tomorrow next class. So where statement also we can cover, and maybe we can start with combining data sets by this week. Okay, that's all for today, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask. Chalo, bye guys.